Good morning. It's an odd morning shave for me. Gonna use this Gibbs again. It's on loan. I'm gonna enjoy it. And I'm gonna start today and maybe tomorrow, put it through some cheaper blades, some of my budget preferences, and that still do well with me despite having a low price tag. The brush is this awesome handle from CravingShaving, and the knot is a Stirling Badger, Stirling Finest. It's been soaking for several hours because I meant to shave last night and was too tired. A lot of times with the Badger that won't make a difference. I've had a few cases where it does. So let's see, I'm hoping it relaxes a little bit. I'm hoping the backbone reduces just a bit on that one. I don't want to have to yank the knot and raise it up, but I will if I have to, and it's nice to know I have that option. Shaving bowl as usual, Roger Quintero design, and the you can print those if you have access to a 3D printer. The links are on the description of this video. Shea butter and tallow is a formulation from WSP that they call their Formula T, and I'm a big tallow fan. I've used their rustic soap, and it's pretty good. That's another line, another base that they have. I don't think I've ever used the Formula T. And they have sandalwood, which I'm looking forward to trying. It was out of stock when I ordered this. But I'm into barbershops lately, so I'm going to enjoy trying this Formula T Barbershop. And WSP stands for Wet Shaving Products. And here's the brand new Derby blade that we'll be putting in the razor. And I did, as you have to for the Gibbs razor, I did cut off the ends of the DE blade just a second ago to make it compatible. I'm going to pause you while I insert and align that. Sometimes it takes a bit, but if you own and enjoy using a vintage Gibbs razor, which is way out of production, then you're not really concerned with how long it takes the blade to align. Sometimes I'll show myself aligning the Chypre razors because they're more modern, they're available, and people want to know that kind of thing. And often I can get it aligned in, just a few seconds. And so sometimes people get scared when they see comments online about how people have trouble, and then when they see me do it in just 3 seconds, that helps them to realize it's just not as big of a deal as people are saying. And there we go. That's not too bad either. What setting today? I'm going to keep it on the mid-range, the N, or the 3 setting, because I've got 2 days of growth here, maybe almost 2 days of growth, and I'm going to mow it down. All right, a little water on my face. Now this is a smaller tin compared to things like Barrister and Mann and Stirling, and it's a little smaller. So I'm going to spend maybe a 40-second load instead, just to see if that makes a difference, because since I haven't loaded it before, and I don't really feel like scooping it today. If I wanted to, I got my 1/4 teaspoon scoop, but I feel like brush loading here. So I'm gonna shake out. This knot holds a lot of water, so I'm gonna shake out a whole lot of it. There we go. And as you can see, it's still pretty wet. Just the bristles and stuff. It's just not holding as much water. All right, let's do 40 seconds. Oh, good timing, because there's 20 right there. I mean, this is more concentrated soap. It's a smaller tin, but it's still got 4 ounces in it. And a lot of the other makers will have 4 ounces in theirs, and their tins, their containers and tubs are just larger. And so this could be more concentrated. And so maybe in this, in a 40-second load, I will just have way more soap than I need, but let's just try it out and see what happens. And when I have a smaller tub, I like to rotate my brush so that I get the tips. Here are the bottom tips, now the top tips, and there's 40. And as you can see, because I dried it out so much, I shook all that water out, it's not too messy around the tub. And there's 40-second load. I like the Barbershop scent on this. Barbershop usually, if you don't know, has maybe a little bit of a powdery note to it, a few florals, but then some kind of masculine pieces as well that kind of bring it all together and keep it from being ladylike. Although I've definitely smelled some that I thought were way too ladylike. Definitely have water on the puck, no big deal. What I usually do is some people leave it unopened, leave it opened for maybe 24 hours after they use it because they want to make sure no mold ever grows. But I usually take 40 minutes to shave, and because I'm making the video and talk and stuff, it usually ends up to be about 40 minutes that it gets to sit over there, and the top dries out reasonably well. And so I just leave it at that because soap is a really horrible atmosphere for bacteria to grow, and so that's a good thing. And so just a little bit of drying is what I like to do. Sometimes I may leave it cracked open a little bit if I just happen to feel like it, sitting on my desk or something, and then later on the next day I'll pack it up. But it's not a big deal to me. Some people are just crazy about it. All right, splashed my face already. Let's go ahead and put this up. Love this long ergonomic handle. I'm able to tuck that knob into my palm. Excellent grip. Nice scent coming up to my nose from the bowl, so that is good. It means I'll probably get to smell it while I'm shaving instead of it being kind of quiet. Stirs up into a kind of a dry, early lather, so that tells me it might just be very predictable in terms of how the lather comes up. It started off kind of dry looking, relatively speaking. It didn't structure up super high, so that's also nice. Sometimes that structure can fool a person. You think you're done, and it's just the way the soap was made to kind of have it be a little taller, a little fluffier than it might actually be. And I'm just going to go ahead and put the rest of that measure in there. So now we got 2 teaspoons. Oh, I'm feeling the soap right there. That's nice and slick. They've got another scent called mahogany that I really enjoy. I believe I have that in the rustic. WSP is not one of those soaps that you see mentioned a whole lot in shave the day posts and that sort of thing. But I really enjoyed it. Lather looks terrific in terms of, if you're looking for one that gives you some visual appeal. I definitely think that the 40 seconds is going to give me plenty of lather here. Do a little finger check. Oh yeah, that's creamy. Nice slickness, nice residual slickness. It's, you know, it's sticking to my fingers as my pads pass each other. It's kind of still remaining on there to provide some good Good movement and lubrication. That is good. I think I'm going to like this base. Many people in the forums and subreddits and stuff like to focus on the what they call the top tier soaps, but in reality the second, even third tier out there are just still tremendous performers. Alright, I'll show you what this is looking like. As we have lots of soap. Let's go ahead and shave with this. I don't want to thin it down too much. It's probably a little thicker than I might like it in terms of appearance. Let's pull it up and oh no, look at that. That's pretty good. Now he's collapsing under his own weight, but very slowly. So let's just try this. I can always add a little bit more water to my face if I need to. All right. A little bit of water on. Try this out. Yeah, I really like the tips on this Stirling Finest. Really soft. Definitely bats above his pay grade. I'm not really splaying it very much right now. It's a pretty dense knot. Yeah, we need some more water. Lather feels good. Did need some more water. Plenty. Wow, yeah, definitely do a 30-second load next time, maybe even a 20. And that's good because this seems like it should be a concentrated product, so you want to use as little as a little amount of the product as possible, make it last the longest for your economy if that's your concern. So the lower load time is going to do that for you. Lather looks great. It's a thin layer, but it's very opaque. I like it. All right, Gibbs. Knock down 2 days of growth. And this is a budget blade. Wilkinson Sword is my other kind of go-to budget blade. I discovered it first. Went to buy some. I'd already bought a sampler or two, and so I didn't really need to buy another sampler that included it. And I didn't know about triablade.com, where you can just buy small quantities of razor blades to try them out. And so I looked on Amazon, I think it was, and you could buy 1 pack for maybe $5, but then you can buy 100 for $8. So it was something like that for just a few dollars more. I think it was maybe 20 packs, 20 razor blades for $5, or 100 for $7 or $8. You know, it was crazy. So I thought, let's buy 100. So I did. Okay, that first pass was a little on the dry side. So I added another teaspoon of water to my lather, and it has changed pretty significantly. You can tell it's just lighter. Doesn't have all the ridges and bumps that it used to. Still, I've got plenty. Look at that. And so, because I did feel a little bit of drag on my face, and so I thought, you know what, this just needs a little bit more water. Got so much soap, it's just falling off. Yeah, this brush doesn't really like to be in the splay too much, but you know, as you keep using some badgers, they don't have a break-in anything like a boar brush. It's just a lot less actual change takes place. But they will relax a little bit because the bristles are more vertical when you get it. But then as you use it, they'll open up if they have that kind of a flexibility. Some of them are so rigid that they don't open up very much. But as they open up, if they're going to do that, then you'll get a little bit less backbone as they're no longer in the center. And I hope that's what happens with this guy. Lather still looks great, even though it's a little thinner. I'm getting a much nicer glide now. Oh yeah, this blade's working great. Blades are so subjective. And the cool thing is that you don't get caught up in the cost of the blades or the legendary name or whatever. Cross grain here on my cheek, still in the second pass. Because there are definitely people out there who do not like the derbies and just throw them away instead of after they've used one, you know. And that's okay, nothing wrong with that. Because blades just sometimes don't work for folks. But it also means that if they happen to work for you, then that's awesome because you've got cheap blades like crazy. Of course, if you use them like me more than the 5 or 7 times that a lot of people do, put it into the 30 range, then you can kind of buy whatever expensive blades you want if those happen to be ones that work well for you, but they may not. That's the thing. All right, well, the feel on this soap just now was tremendous. This is an excellent soap. Silky, no, not silky, just really creamy and smooth to rinse off. Nice glide. I'm really happy with this soap. I mean, the only reason I could switch my opinion at this point would be if I were to get to the end of the shave and I get a crappy cut, you know, because maybe it was too thick or it just wasn't protecting me well enough or something like that. But no, this is good stuff. Wow, very underrated. Now there are some people who like vegan bases because that's just their proclivity because of environment or whatever. But I like the tallow. If you like tallow, then they do sell samples for this soap. I think at maybe Maggard's and maybe even the WSP site. So it's easy to try. I'd recommend trying one of these for just a few bucks. And we did not have a problem at all mowing down 2 days of growth, even at just the average razor setting. Didn't have to go into anything higher. You might have to if you wanted to try to get your shave done in 2 passes instead of 3. The soap strength on this one, scent strength, kind of low. I think I forgot I got a little bit of lapse in my thinking. I think I went backwards, kind of against the grain right here. So that may get a little bit of irritation. All right, and rinse. That's the 3rd pass down. Yeah, so I did get a little careless. Got a couple little weepers right there. And that's kind of in my hairline where there's not actually any hair right there. I just took it too far and in the wrong direction. And this is looser skin, and so I may have not been stretching my skin quite well enough. So a little bit of irritation right there, but holy cow, the rinse I just did was luxurious. So this is a very underrated soap. Closeness was excellent. I don't see any length to any of the tips here, and this is with a budget blade. That still does well for me. So high marks for the Frmla T. The scent strength's kind of low, and it's not going to bowl you over at all, but just a nice light scent. I don't think this particular kind of scent needs to be too much in your face, but I enjoyed it. But just the feel, to me, it really comes close to just that smooth, silky feel of some of the top tier soaps. It really does. At least maybe not first tier, but to me, almost like the best of the second tier, if you will, or between the two. Wow, this lather was really good, and it took water like a champ. And look at that elasticity. I mean, that's just tremendous. It looks great, feels great on your face. I need to get a list of superlative words, so I just don't keep saying great all the time. But I mean, that's just perfect. That's perfect lather right there, according to my preferences. And it's slick and wet and creamy without being overly thick, and it's still bonded to my skin, gave me great feel and glide around on my skin. So that's just top notch. Peach grape, very nice. All right, I'm gonna clean up. I'm not gonna put on any post shave. It dried fairly quickly, but I'm not getting any kind of drying feeling on my face. Oh, that's more than just a weeper. Look at those guys. Yeah, just a little lapse in judgment right there. That one's fine. All right, what a great shave. Discovery of a wonderful new base that I enjoy. Wow, that means I'm definitely gonna have to try out the other scents in this base. That's the ones that I like. The mahogany, sandalwood looked really good. Those especially jumped out at me. I don't know if there's any more. I have to go get some samples of those. So I actually ended up with tons of lather, maybe even 3 passes left over, definitely 2. And so I did not need to do the 40-second load as I did. Maybe even a 20 or 25 might be just fine. But with this 40-second load, I used up, man, I know I refilled it once. I may have refilled it twice. I can't remember. But here we sit. So either it's 2.5 or 3.5 teaspoons of water. My money is on 3.5 teaspoons. So that's how much water I used. So the only weakness that I can see in this awesome little soap is the scent strength. If you're somebody who likes medium strength soaps, then this is more mild than that, and that might be where it comes into play for you. But wow, otherwise, really impressed. Well, there we go. The brush did nicer than it has in the past. The tips almost started to display a little bit of softness toward the end instead of being quite so precise, to indicate maybe it's going to gel up on me. I don't know. We'll see how I like that or not. But I in the first pass I kept it more out so that the tips were focused on me instead of putting it in the splay. And I think it at this point it likes that better for sure. I did splay a little bit more on the second and third passes. I think sometimes this maybe that's an issue. Some brushes, if you've got a longer whiskers on that first pass, the splay can feel a little rough as those whiskers will catch in certain directions on the hair fibers and stuff. That's how it feels. It's just my guess. And so maybe if I stick to focusing on the tips that first pass, and then I can maybe splay on the second and third, because there's less to kind of trip up the bristles. All right, I have not put on any post-shave, and I don't feel like I even need to. Face feels great. I do have oily skin, but I don't feel any dryness or anything weird. I definitely can, head out without worrying about any post-shave products. So that's pretty cool. But let's check out one anyway. Here's one that's been in the back of my drawer, Grande Chypre from Barrister and Mann, and I barely used it, and I need to get to the point to where I'm a little lighter weight. I don't have tons of aftershave splashes, but I don't need to keep around. I'd rather sell something I don't use very much. I can't bend my arm very much because of an accident. So I have to apply aftershave in kind of weird ways. And I do it in my palms because I don't like for all that to drip down through my fingers into the sink. I paid for it. So we'll see how this scent goes, see if I like it. If not, I'll sell it on the secondary market. Definitely a good performer. A little bit of alcohol, not a lot of sting. So in general, my shave was good technique, except for that little area down there. That's a nice scent. That's pleasant. We'll see how it transpires over the next several minutes, see if I want to keep that around. All right. Excellent shave. All good. Brush, soap, razor, blade did well all the way around. Very cool. So I hope there was something here for you that helped you out. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves, and take care. Have a good day.